Since we're investigating your bowel symptoms, one other test I'd like you to do is a stool test called the FIT test. Generally speaking, we do this test if anyone has symptoms which could be the cause of bowel cancer. And the symptoms could be a change in normal bowel habit, such as looser poo, pooing more often, constipation, abdominal pain, anemia, which is lower than normal red cells, or unexplained weight loss.
So how does the test work?
This very important test looks for tiny traces of human blood in your poo, which you might not be able to see, and which could be a sign of cancer or pre-cancer. Hence, very important for you to do this as soon as possible. Also worth letting you know that this test is different from the bowel screening test, which individuals receive every 2 years after the age of 50, and therefore, for you, this test is very important to do in your case.
How do I do the stool test?
You do this test yourself at home in the next day or two. You only need to collect one sample of poo, and the easiest way to collect the sample of poo is to use an old plastic container, line it with toilet paper and put it in the toilet. And then have poo into the container. Do not wee into the container and do not let your poo touch the water or the toilet. Once you've collected your poo, dip the stick from the testing kit in the poo, and I'll show you. So this is the kit. But make sure you dip the stick into the poo, cover the end with poo. Put the stick back into the kit itself. Write your name and date of birth and address on the side of the tube, or stick the label I'm going to give you onto the poo stick. Put the poo stick and the form into the bag here and return to the surgery on the same day.
Oh, right. Doesn't sound like much fun.
I understand, but this stool test looks for tiny amounts of blood in the stool samples, which can either rule out cancer or be an early indicator of pre-cancer or cancer itself. This means that if it is bowel cancer, it is picked up at an early stage, and this is when treatment can be the most effective. Sometimes, cells in the bowel grow too quickly and form a clump known as a bowel polyp, which can also bleed into the bowel. Polyps are not cancers, but can develop into cancers over time and are therefore precancerous lesions. Finding polyps means that they can be removed and therefore prevent bowel cancer.
Okay, I see. I am a bit worried. Can you tell me a bit more about bowel cancer?
Yes, of course. It is one of the most common cancers, and over 40,000 people are diagnosed every year, and over 15,000 die each year from this. Most are in those over 50, but new cases are diagnosed in those under 50. You may be more likely to get bowel cancer if you're over 50, you smoke, you're overweight, or a close relative has had bowel cancer. You can also get bowel cancer if you have inflammatory bowel disease, which includes diseases like Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. You can also develop bowel cancer from small growths in your bowel called bowel polyps. Specific genetic conditions like Lynch syndrome or familial polyposis can also lead to bowel cancer in the future.
Oh, that's not good.
Yes, that's right, but bowel cancer is treatable and curable, especially if diagnosed early. Nearly everyone survives bowel cancer if diagnosed at the earliest stage. However, this drops significantly as the disease develops and spreads. So remember, early diagnosis saves lives.
So what should I expect from the results?
You'll get the results back within 1 week, so do please check on the NHS app or surgery for the results and arrange a review. If there's any trace of blood detected, it could be due to a number of things, not just early signs of bowel cancer. But excluding cancer is the main reason for doing the test. It may mean that you'll need further tests like a colonoscopy, which is a camera to look at your bowel. This is to investigate causes for the blood found, and I can make the urgent referral to hospital at that point.
Thank you so much for taking the time to explain it and looking after me. I'll get this done in the next few days.
I am glad I could help. Be sure to send it back as soon as possible and check the results a week later. And there may be a really good chance that there is no cancer, but important to rule this out by doing this test. We will of course chat after all the results are back and try and find the cause of your bowel problems. Is that clear? Any questions?
Nope, that's all clear, thank you.
Okay, thanks and goodbye.